Happy Saturday night, Sooner Nation. Welcome to the Sooner Surge, a podcast that tells it like it is. We are live for our nightly 9:30 live show to talk all things Sooners. Whatever you want to talk about, there's a lot that happened today. Baseball wins, Sooner softball dominant, OU basketball loses another tough one, which seems to be what they always do. They found a way to lose. And Chester starting the night off right with the $2 super, says Fire Joe C compliance. And then he's gifting a Sooner Surge membership. So if you are the lucky winner of the Sooner Surge membership, make sure you email us at SoonerSurgePod@gmail.com so you can become a member of the Discord. What's up, Jay?
What's up, man? Saturday night and another Saturday where OU basketball can't come through with the W. Frustrating. We'll see if anybody wants to talk about that tonight, but I'm excited for one thing this week. It's spring practice, baby, and it's March 6th, Thursday. And I'm also excited, Dave McCook, $10 super. Thanks so much, Dave. Appreciate that big time. But it starts this week. You know what? We've been talking all off season, and it doesn't really feel like the off season's been that long. Here it is. It's spring practice, and starting this week. What's up, KB? Also talk about the combine a little bit as the quarterbacks through today. Different things, running backs, wide receivers, different things we can talk about. But hey, spring practice starts this week. Jim Nagy going to be talking to the media on Wednesday with Brent Venables.
I like that.
I love it.
And John Mateer.
All the newcomers are talking on Wednesday, I believe, Jerm.
Sooner Thrawn says did his research, 10-19 in conference and 5 points or less wins or losses. Porter needs to be out. Yeah, I agree. Porter needs to be gone. Did Billy Bowman put on some muscle weight? He looked jacked at the combine. He's been pretty jacked.
He's always jacked. He's always jacked. You just can't see. I mean, when they don't wear anything at the combine. They wear skin-tight clothes. You can see everything. I mean, that's part of it. You see their
softball, baseball. Yeah, look, softball was dominant today. Baseball was great again.
Basketball, By the way, there's not another team in the country that has undefeated men's or baseball and softball. Only OU.
And great crowd for baseball today.
It was a really good crowd. It was.
So Gabriel didn't look great today. Neither did Will Howard.
Yeah, Chester, he's been ripped since Schmitty. That's right.
Gabriel and Howard, meh.
Oh, man, Howard was not good. And
I think got a ring, Jay.
I told you I thought Quinn would do pretty good, and I think he did pretty good. So we'll see what happens, how it all plays out. Okay, here's what we can say. Listen, March 6th, Thursday, or let's start with this. March 5th, Wednesday, media. Brent Venables, Jim Nagy, along with John Mateer and other newcomers, okay? That's Wednesday. Thursday, spring practice kicks off. March 11th, which is, what is that, 7, 8, Tuesday? The following Tuesday, OU Pro Day. So.
A lot going on. Hey.
A lot going on.
Colin asked if we think any of them, Danny, Downs, or Bowman, if their stock stayed the same or went up. Downs definitely went up. I think all three probably impressed and went up a little.
Yeah, I mean, what you cannot have happen at the combine is it hurt you, and none of them got hurt by it. If anything, they got better because I think a lot of people, I mean, especially on the defensive backs, you're looking at a lot of different things, but speed is a big deal. And where Bowman plays, his speed checked out really good, so that's a good thing. Same with Danny. I mean, what's crazy is Danny ran that time. Danny's not no 5'11", 6 foot lineman. He's 6'4". Dude can run. I mean, dude can hit. Dude can tackle.
I thought it was great.
Smart.
I thought it was great Isaiah Bond talking smack that he was going to run what Worthy ran and just didn't even come close.
First off, I know KB's on here. Why would you even try to say that? The guy ran the fastest like in the history. Why would you even try to say you're going to beat that?
Yeah, dumb take. Bowman's not only 5'9".
I don't know what his official height is. I don't know what his official height is. I did see Ollie Gordon. I don't know what Ollie Gordon ended up running his second time, but his first time was like a 4.62, man.
Yeah. It was. Hey, the basketball team was just another horrific loss. We we already had an instant reaction video where I'm gonna admit I was a little probably too emotional, but I
You
take
were
a
emotional.
step back after gathering my thoughts, and I haven't changed any. So
Hey, Jeremy,
I watched the final play, Jay, probably 10 times. I went back and watched it. It was Duke Miles on Padula. They ran a switch. Then it was Goodine on Padula. And then it was Godwin. It was pathetic.
Yeah, and Jeremy, that's why I love it, man. You can be emotional. That's fine, dude. I mean, that's why
Pathetic.
you're real. It's real stuff. You're emotional. Hey, here's the truth. Here's the truth of the matter. I got to give you guys a little bit behind the scenes here. Okay. So as that was playing out, the game ends, and I'm texting Jeremy about. I texted him and it's like, "Hey, I'm ready to start this live whenever you are." No response. I click on the link to look. The dude's already started it yelling. That's how emotional he was.
Time out.
He didn't even wait.
Chester, another $2 super. But by the way, Chester, you may just think that because it's basketball season.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were on a whole lot of football lives with me, and I was pretty emotional. Please don't compare. You know what the moral of the story is, Chester? I'm emotional. I'm passionate. And by the way, Forsythe isn't a power 4 player. Come on, that's a horrible take.
He had a great game. He scored 25 points today.
He was phenomenal.
He had a great game today, specifically second half. I think he scored 23 points in the second half.
Hey, KB, which makes it even worse. If you're hurt, shut your mouth. If you're hurt, close it.
Blue ran a pretty quick 40. And by the way, I will say this, Sooner fan.
It wasn't second half.
Okay, but first half we were texting back and forth, and there for a stretch he got beat quite a bit. But the guy's a freshman. He's a freshman.
But Jay, let me say this. He may be a liability sometimes, but he's at least always going to go all out. Fears does not. Fears does not go all out. Fears goes through the motions a lot of times.
Hey, Sooner Cowboys. It doesn't matter what Fears does the rest of the way. The guy's going to be a lottery pick. I just think he's going to be a lottery pick no matter what. A lot of NBA people already love him, and they've already.
Hey, let's get off basketball because I'm tired of it today. I'm so
Let's
done.
get off it, man. Let's get off. Let's talk football then. Softball. What do you want to talk about, Jeremy? Football.
Jim Nagy talking to the media is what I want to talk about. I think this dude, you're going to hear from him Wednesday and just being ooh, ah. That's what people are going to be. This guy's going to tell you everything. I am super excited.
Please off basketball. Yeah. Baseball, though. Baseball's undefeated. Playing great. They got a pitching staff like you wouldn't believe.
So, Jay, why is he going to be talking to the media? Because that is a role that's never been talking to the media.
Well, Jeremy, I think this GM role, we've talked about, okay, Brent Venables, what can they do to take some stuff off of him? Well, this GM will take some stuff off of him. I think they're going to treat it more of like an NFL organization, and that's what needs to happen. But you know what? I don't know what you'll hear on Wednesday, Jeremy. I mean, we'll see. I'm just glad he's talking. I don't know what you're going to hear, but I'm glad he's talking. I want to hear from him.
Yeah, John Mateer, I'm sure is going to be great with the media. And then any of the newcomers, I'm excited. I'm excited, really, though, for practice to start here in about 5 days.
Hey, did you see the video they put out today? Dodgeball.
I saw the dodgeball video.
People were losing their mind on Instagram and stuff.
Why?
The comments were like, "Oh, no wonder we haven't won anything. We're too busy playing dodgeball." It was wild. All the comments. I was like, "Wow, okay."
Hey, and the other thing that Jay was the Soul Mission stuff, the interviews.
The what?
The players interviewing with all kinds of businesses.
Well, that they always do that. I mean, they always do that.
That was on the Twitter, Jay. Yeah, I did see the line of people lined up to get inside the ballpark, and that's great. That's great for baseball. Great crowd. I think 3,500 there today.
Yeah, and Dalpost, I saw that this was released. I have not watched it yet, so I can't really comment on it, but I
What
have to
was it
go back and
over?
watch it. They're releasing them once a month now, so it was just the next one. I don't know what it was over, but another one was released. I know that.
Jay, if you go to OU coaches' entrances, first day, first time to hear from OU coaches in the media when it's their first year there, you think about that, and I could have said that incorrectly, but think about the ones that stand out.
What are you asking? I'm confused.
I mean, everyone vividly remembers Bob Stoops standing at the podium outside, talking about no excuses and the things after coming in after the turmoil here, like that is just stamped in everyone's mind. And another one that is, Jay, is when Lincoln Riley leaves and Bob Stoops again in front of the media says, not one person's bigger than this program. That stands out. I think probably Howard Snellenberger's media session stands out when he took the job here. And then everyone remembers when BV and the plane, boomer, right? I mean, these things stand out, but now it's time to show up, Jay.
Yeah, I guess what are you asking? Are you asking a question?
I didn't ask you a question.
Oh, okay, you were just talking about it. I got you. Hey, I'm gonna open up the phone
what everyone remembers, and everyone was excited. I'm trying to imply how excited everyone was about BV, and now it's lost a lot of luster because 2, 6, and 7 seasons, Jay.
Yeah, I mean that's what it does when you don't win. Winning changes everything.
Yeah, Jay, when he did that on the airplane and that plane arrived, Sooner fans would have run through a brick wall. So confident they're going to turn around. Now, I think when he speaks, people are like, I just don't know.
I think people are waiting on him to win, Germ. Like win consistently. That's probably what it is. But yeah, Howard was a character now. You talk about a guy that just
didn't he also compare the season to a horse race?
Yeah, I believe so. So. You know what I remember about Howard Schnellenberger? The biggest thing I remember was the Colorado game, the game day. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because maybe I am, but I don't think I am. Was that not OU's first night game?
The Colorado game?
Yes.
I believe it was.
Home night game? Was that their first ever home night game?
No.
I think it might have been.
First ever?
There was something with that. I was a young pup then, but there was something about that game.
There was something about the Colorado game. I thought it was at
home under the lights. It was at home under the lights for the first time, I thought. Because they always played it. They always played it like 2:30, if you remember right.
You may be correct, Jay.
I'll have to look it up. I'll have to look it up here in a minute. But I think there was something to that. But
you could be right.
Well, Lane says he was at the OU Nebraska in 1985, kicked off at 6 p.m.
So maybe it wasn't that then, Jay.
I'm going to look it up real quick.
Look it up, Jay. Lane, I never said everything that's happening right now is all BV's fault. But listen, man, when you're the head dude, it's going to fall on you. That's kind of how things work when you're the boss man. People are saying they had temporary lights. That was their first night game under those lights at Memorial Stadium. So,
yeah, I'm trying to find it. There was something about that. I'm trying to figure out what it was.
Was Hessler the quarterback for Colorado, or was it Joe Klatt? It was Hessler, wasn't it? I believe so. What else you guys want to talk about tonight? We're going to open the phone lines pretty quickly tonight. We'll probably go 40, 45 minutes tonight, kind of our usual rhythm here at the Sooner Surge. Make sure you check out the Fan Stop, thefanstop.com. thefanstop.com. Sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. Use code SURGE. It helps everyone out. Use it. It helps you out specifically because you get 10% off your first 3 months. And you won't be disappointed in the apparel that gets sent to your house each and every month. So sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. thefanstop.com.
That's right. Phone lines are open, and we got one of the OGs. We got Chester on here, and Chester's gone. He was on here, and then he's gone.
Ty Detmer played for BYU.
Coy Detmer.
Oh, I was thinking Ty Detmer. Yeah,
Coy.
Right. Hey, Okie Lawn guy. No, but
there's no reason for him.
Wait. No, but I love Travis Hunter, how he speaks to the media. I can't stand Shedeur Sanders, how he speaks. Everything seems to be like a joke. Like and maybe that's his personality. To me, Travis Hunter's going to kill it with the media. But Shedeur Sanders, to me, there's something I don't know, Jake.
Yeah, I don't think it hurts either. I think they're going to be high draft picks, very, very high. So I don't think it matters. Some of these guys, when you already got it wrapped up pretty much that you're going to be that high of a draft pick, what's the point to go do it in the combine?
Only hurt you. Gone.
What?
Chester was on here. He's gone now.
Yeah, he was going to join. It looked like, but maybe he had some technical difficulties. Yeah, I don't know, Okie. I don't know a whole lot about him. So, but there's some things about it for sure that rub me the wrong way. So,
Sooner softball got South Carolina next week, and they're good.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good matchup.
Test will begin.
It's gonna be a good matchup. They'll get tested right away. They'll get tested about every week, and not tested, but SEC is tough, dude. It's tough. Baseball too. Baseball's the same way. Baseball's probably going to be undefeated and they go into SEC play, which that's great.
Jay, when OU was in basketball was undefeated in conference, if I would have said, you know what, they're a lock if they get to 6-12.
Oh my gosh, I would have said they're in.
Absolutely.
You have to. At that 6-12, come on.
Yeah. Got any breakout sleepers for the football team next season? Well, I'll say mine, but it's not going to come as a surprise. Now,
who's that?
I think one sleeper, although I don't know if he's going to be a sleeper, Giovanni Gibson's high on my list. I do think anyone in the tight end room would be a sleeper, whether that's Mitchell, Helms, or maybe a Kanik. All sleepers. Because the tight end room has been asleep as long as Rip Van Winkle. So the fact that I can call them sleepers is 100% accurate because that's what they've been doing for years. Kendall Daniels, Marvin Jones Jr., I like both of those answers.
Hey, Okie's asking about Kyler and Baker participating. I know Baker participated. Kyler was there too. I'm just remembering if Kyler threw or not. I can't remember. I know Baker did. I think I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Let's get to Chester. Chester's on the line. What's up, Chester?
Yeah, I tried to call, but somebody came up to the car. Sorry about that.
Oh, how are you?
I'm all right. Getting ready to go into work. I just wanted to kind of rebuttal on, I think it was Corrections the other night was calling about the Lincoln Riley left us in a mess.
Yes.
All right. We all knew that. And I didn't expect it to get really good till year 4. But by year 3, you're supposed to see the improvements.
Yeah.
Yeah. Defensively, it's been great. But everything else was pretty bad. Like he was mentioning special teams. I thought special teams was terrible last year.
Yeah, special teams wasn't great. Special teams
it depends on what part.
If we're just talking about punter, okay.
Yeah, punter was good.
It was okay, but I mean, we had no return game on either kickoff or punt returns.
Here.
Field goals were bad. You know, obviously the offense was pure garbage, like most of us knew was going to happen.
Yeah, but, that's the thing that really set them back was the hire of Seth the Trail and the offense. Yeah. That's the thing that really screwed them up last year.
But it seems like a lot of the fans are crying over having a tough schedule. I love having a tough schedule. You know,
for fans, it's great
I
watching it.
mean, it's like people forget. Yes, the last 15 years, the Big 12 was kind of weak, but before that, the Big 12 was extremely tough from the 90s through to probably around 2008-ish, maybe 2007-ish. Big 12 was considered the toughest conference.
It was.
So it's not like we didn't have tough schedules before, you know.
That's true. It's just the week in, week out of the SEC is different. I mean, it seems like it's
and
different.
you know, the Big 8 in the 80s was pretty tough too, outside of 3 teams, you know,
Yeah,
Kansas
but the
State.
thing
They
is,
were
you
terrible.
had some. It was tough, but you had some gimme games. Oh, you didn't
do
have
have some. You still have gimme games. It's the non-con.
Well, the
But see,
non-con.
Switzer in his day though, he was scheduling powerhouses and non-cons. So his schedules weren't easy either back then.
Yeah,
You know, he played Elway. He played USC. He always had to play Texas. You know, they weren't a conference rival game back then.
true.
So we've always had tough schedules until the 2010s.
Yeah,
But I love playing the big timers because that's how you get recruits to watch. That's how you get more interest in it. You just got to win the damn
you
game.
got to win. You got to win your
win.
fair share, man. You have to win.
Y'all have fun. Boomer
Hey,
Sooner for life.
Chester.
Have a good night, Chester.
Hey, let me answer this. Does OU win their last 2 basketball games? I can't really say yes, but
No,
they can. They can.
No, they won't.
If so, do they make the tournament? 100% yes, they make the tournament if they win those 2 games. If no tournament, does OU part ways? I say yes. I know Jay's on the fence with that.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I like Keontez Lewis too because no one's speaking on him. And the person who said Peyton Bowen was better than last year's, Peyton Bowen wasn't near the returner I thought he was going to be.
Yeah, he didn't return a whole lot last year. I mean, they didn't really run a whole lot back.
I wasn't excited from what I saw, Jay.
Yeah, but they didn't even. Most of them were either fair caught or downed. I mean, they didn't run a whole lot back. 918 says in the portal era, Riley leaving shouldn't have been a factor up to year 2. I would agree with you, 918, but I do think. Okay, let's look at Brent Venables. He's been there 3 years. Maybe now that you've seen him 3 years, maybe one of the problems was maybe how Brent Venables came in at first with the portal. Like, remember, I'm not going to go after Clemson guys. That I don't know. And being with Dabo for so long, do you think it took him a couple of years to be like, okay, this is it. We got to play the portal game? Do you think it took him a few years to get away from Dabo?
I've told you what I said kind of cost OU some is I think they used the mantra too much. We are OU. They thought people just flocked because they said we are OU, and it didn't happen. That's not the approach they should have made and taken early on under BV. They should not have said, you know what, we're OU. That just doesn't mean what it used to mean in any team nowadays. We have money. That's what means something.
Yeah, and Colin says, Patty's statement, don't expect that many home runs should be taken back. Yeah, they're hitting a lot of home runs this year. I need to do a comparison. We need to do a comparison.
We are this week. I told you that, Jay. We're going to do that.
We need to do that because I like to see. I think their home runs are up. Year 1, 47 players gone. I understand, but what I'm saying is it happens a lot of times when coaches leave now. And with the portal, you can go get guys. I just think maybe being so close with Dabo and working under him for so long, I think it took Brent a couple of years to be like, okay, we got to play the portal.
Okay, Jay, all of the other stuff, Jay, like when he lost all those players, whatever, BB came in and killed it with the recruiting. He kept a lot of guys. Like, that wasn't really the issue. And I agree, after year 2, that's got to change. Jay, who do you compare Kai Rogers to? Is he a Jabari Brown type, but more offense?
I think, yes, he's better offensively. I was going to say maybe he's better offensively than Kadeem Latin or Jabari Brown. I mean, the guy shoots like
Taj Gray.
The guy shoots like 67% from the field.
What about a Taj Gray?
More lanky, jump way better.
Who was the guy, Jay? Who was the guy who wore number 24, I believe? Great back to the basket player. Oh my goodness.
Jeff Webster?
No. Oh my goodness.
What year?
Probably 2000s. Oh my. He played a year or two maybe after Todd Gray or before. Wore number 24. Someone help me. It wasn't Buddy Hill. It was a big man. Humphrey
Kim
wore
said,
20. It wasn't Humphrey. It wasn't Odom, but I thought it had started with an O.
Kim's asking a question here. Kim wants to know how many here has started a program from scratch and how long did it take you to win the state championship? Well, obviously nobody on here that I know of has, but
what does that have to do with anything? Oh, you didn't start from scratch.
Oh, you didn't start from scratch. I mean, they had to tear it down. And Brent Venables said that we had to tear things down to the studs. I understand it was a revamped. You had to revamp everything because they were a soft team under Lincoln defensively. He's rebuilt that. He's done a great job defensively. In fact, I think offensively the first few years under Levy was pretty good. The problem was the Seth Luttrell hire. That's what happened last year. Period.
Who
Seth
was
Luttrell
this guy, Jay, number 24?
Injuries. What?
This is killing me, man.
Wait, I don't understand what you're asking. Who a big guy?
He was great mid-range, rebounder.
Ernie Abercrombie?
No.
What?
Not
how
Odom.
tall was he? How tall was he? Nolan Richardson? Nolan Johnson?
No, he was probably 6'9". It wasn't Book out.
6'9"?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he was a JUCO guy or a transfer. I think he came from Mississippi State, maybe. No.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Not Dante Jones.
I want to say Odom, but it wasn't Odom, man. You know who I'm talking about?
It wasn't Rashard. Aaron McGee?
It wasn't Ace McGee. It wasn't Rashard Odoms. Oh, my goodness. Someone will get it, man. Come on, Sooner Nation.
How many teams make –
what are we talking about?
Are we talking about football, Kim? Because football would be 2, unless you're talking about each district.
Yeah, I'm confused on what you're asking, Kim.
Yeah, there's 2 teams in the championship. Stacey King. No, he's talking about what year, Germ? Sampson?
He played under Sampson, yes.
Selvey?
Was not Darian Selvey, Jay.
Give me a year. I'll find it out. Give me a year.
I don't remember the year, Jay. I'm pretty sure he wore number 24, though, and he was there it is, Romero Osby. Thank you, 918. Osby.
Romero Osby. He was what? Huh? He wasn't even that great.
Romero Osby was good, Jay.
He's okay.
He's a big man.
If he was good, everybody would have remembered a long time ago, Germ.
He was a good player on that team.
No, Kai Rogers is a good offensive player and defensive player. And golly, Ebby Ira, man, right now they could use an Ebby. They could use a guy like
Romero Osby.
Yeah, he was okay.
Go Okie Long guy. Go Google Romero Osby. You'll remember him. You'll see his game.
This team, okay, if you remember the awesome team OU had that made the Final Four with Buddy Hill, right? That team, they had Spangler at center. He's not a rim protector, but they also had what?
Jabari Brown wasn't on that team.
They had Kadeem Latin, I believe, on that team. I think Latin was on that team. And they had a guy that could come in and protect. They have nobody on this team that can protect them.
Romero Osby played in the league, by the way. He was good.
Oh, I love Spangler. Spangler's. Did he even play in the NBA?
Romero Osby.
Really?
Oh, I remember McNeese.
McNeese was on that. Jamani was on that team. Okay.
Jamani McNeese, man. Yeah, he was a good player. Thank you, 918.
Oh, did he leave OU and go somewhere else before the NBA?
No, I think he came from Mississippi State, Jay.
I didn't know he went to the NBA from OU, though.
Yeah, Jay, he was solid, man. Solid. Let's
Yeah,
get
that's
back into
lethal.
football. I'm sorry, I chased a rabbit there with Romero.
Yeah,
Oshie.
you did. That was a rabbit chaser.
Doolittle was unbelievable for 1 year. Phone link is in.
It should be pinned, but I'll drop it again.
Jay'll drop it again. Again, check out FanStop at thefanstop.com. Sign up for the Shut of the Month Club. Use code SURGE. Get 10% off your first 3 months.
51st pick. There it is. 51st pick.
What number was Stacey Dell's, Jay?
Ooh. That's tough. We got a caller on the line. Hang on. It's correct. She was either 22 or 21. I don't remember.
I think it was 21, Jay. 21.
I'm thinking
21 or 12.
What's up, Corrections?
Hey guys, how you guys doing tonight?
We're all right.
I mean, my ears are burning. I don't know what happened, man. No, I listened to Chester. Hey, I can't disagree with a single thing he said. My only point about bringing that, just kind of reminding people how bad Lincoln Riley left our program, and the last year having Caleb Williams covering up a ton of problems, with especially on the offensive side of the ball that just a magician had to pull out of his sleeve just to get the wins we had, was just to remind everybody, because going into that season, in that first season, it was so chaotic. Everybody was like, we're not going to hold BV accountable for this first year. He's doing the best he can with what he has. And now it's just like, because we've had, especially, I agree. He's completely responsible for year number 3. I get that. But, and it's not just in this chat sometimes, but it's also in, the KREF text in lines and other podcasts and this and that, where people are, they're lumping year 1 and year 3 together. Oh, we had 2, 6, and 7 seasons under BV. BV sucks. Oh, we lost 2 out of 3 years to Texas, and we get, the first time was 49-0. They conveniently leave out the part where DG was out with a concussion. We didn't have a quarterback behind him that could complete a forward pass. My only thing was, like, people are so disingenuous with tying in year 1 to tying into year 3 to try to make a case, just to bag on BV and, make the case. I think that they're making the case that the program is worse off than it actually is. That was my only point when I called in a couple nights ago.
I agreed with a couple of nights ago when you said that people forget about Lincoln's last year, when basically Caleb Williams himself was the reason Kansas, they should have lost. Like, there were a lot of close games they should have lost, where Caleb kind of put him on his back. And if you go back to Rattler early in the year, they were undefeated. But there was a game against West Virginia. I think OU won like 13-10.
And we almost lost to Tulane with Rattler in.
Yeah,
so we won by a touchdown.
With that part of your call, I agree.
It's
with that.
terrible.
People forget that it wasn't.
Yeah,
but OU wasn't killing people.
But Corrections, yeah. I think a lot of the people that are talking about the first and third year together and lumping them up. I mean, if you're a national guy and you don't pay attention, you're going to look at, and a lot of people do. You look at Brent Venables in 3 years, he has 2 losing seasons. That's just the way it's going to be.
Right, and that's a good point. But a lot of these guys that we're hearing this from are, from the OU base. And I understand that it's a minority of the fan base that are real big doomers, but they're the loudest and most vocal ones. And it gets aggravating, because it's like, this is not where a majority of the base of the fan base is. We're not liable to hold BV accountable for year 1, but it is what it is. And the way BV changes that with the doomers that are really vocal is, let's go win 9 or 10 games this year. You got to do it.
That's right. And
it fixes everything.
And the second year in the BV, they went 10-2 with Jeff Levy as the OC. Things were looking up. They go 10-2. Actually, they should have made the Big 12 championship that year. The 2 games they lost, shouldn't have lost. Like, those are bad losses. But you had hopes, and then all of a sudden, the hiring of Seth Luttrell, Jackson Arnold's poor play, no quarterback development, and here we are. And that's why there are, 2, 6, and 7 seasons. That part does have to fall, because he's the one that hired Luttrell, and it killed.
Man, that year number 2, you remember those last 2 games that we lost in Kansas and Oklahoma State? That Kansas game was so weird, man. Oh, it was
inexcusable.
It is inexcusable, but it's just that it was like with the thunderstorm in the beginning. It's like we were just doomed from the start. It's just I don't know. That was so weird. But hey, let's go win 9 or 10 games this year. Let's make the playoff, and hey, let's get it right on track.
I'd take that. We'll see. I'd take it though.
Thanks,
correction.
Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of the night.
Appreciate it. Hey, Germ, one thing I'll say though, and I think the farther we get away from this, and you're in the SEC now, and I don't know if this is true, but I'd like people's opinions because I kind of wonder about this. If OU was in the SEC 7 years ago, would they have about 7 years now of about 8 wins? Was it masked a little bit under Riley being in the Big 12 and then BV that 1 year?
No, I mean, when Riley
because the schedule was
Jay. I mean, they went and competed. They hung 50 on Georgia, who was shutting everyone down in the SEC.
No. I get that, Germ. I'm just saying the week to week games. You had some games that were just like you're gonna win. I mean the Big 12. Right. You had some gimme games.
And Chester, I agree.
You don't have any gimme games.
Playoffs, you have to. Got to make the playoff.
And I think when you get out of the Big 12 and you get into the SEC and you see these games every week and the way this talent is, it's a different animal.
Jay, admit that. I mean, like, guys,
this is not first 2 years.
This is not rocket science. OU's toughness has, and what toughness they have, and people can argue whether it's toughness or not. It may not be as tough as it needs to be because I don't think it is, but it's tougher than it used to be. But I'll say this: all that toughness, whatever toughness OU has been on one side of the ball. They've had zero toughness on the offensive side. I'm talking about offensive line. I'm talking about at the quarterback position. Just no go get it toughness. Want to. It's been bad.
Well, what you haven't had is a guy that like you go back, and I know these are great players, so I don't want to just compare, but Baker Mayfield, Sterling Chip, you go down the list of guys that like you needed a first down, they'll get it. Okay. They haven't had offensively. They haven't really had guys that you're like, we need a first down right now. Who's going to get it? Running back wise, I mean, wide receiver wise, quarterback wise.
Soft. They've been soft on offense, Jay.
John Mateer's got to be that guy. He's got to be that guy. What's up, KB?
What's going on, guys?
What's up?
Much.
I think what made it look worse as far as, comparing your first year to the third last year or whatever is, your first year, sometimes it happens. Look at till you start, get a new coach or whatever. But y'all did pretty good the second year, and then you to go back to reverting to what you did the first year, the third year. I think that's what made it look. That's what give so much pause for concern.
And there was so much.
They did not. They reverted back from year 3 to year 1 in their record, but they actually went back way before. The offense in BV's first year, OU was 6-7, but they were scoring 35, 40 points in some of those games.
Oh, yeah. You definitely had a better offense year 1 and year 2.
I think the issue is for year 3 was, let's face facts, and you know it too, KB, being a Texas fan. The SEC is what everybody's been talking about for 5 years. I just can't wait to get the SEC. I can't wait to get the SEC. And then you get there and have a losing season. That's the perspective.
Yeah,
and that's why there's a lot of upset people.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. It kind of takes the air out of everything at that point.
Yes, that's what it was. And yeah.
And I've been a big proponent of just one of these guys from the outside looking in. I don't think, obviously not Mateer, but your offensive coordinator you got rid of, that wasn't working. And I think you're going to be fine, but I still don't know that it's going to be with BV, though, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to find. I think you have to find out this year.
Exactly.
But KB, here's the thing with what Dalpo says here. If they have to fire BV, that's not good either.
No.
Because that could be a cycle unless you get just a really stud hire that's going to work right away and hit the home run. It could be you could go another 3 or 4 years and have an issue. So I think it's better if BB gets it together and they win now.
Oh, well, yeah, there's no doubt about that. That's the 100% best scenario, but it's kind of like if he doesn't, you're danged if you do and you're danged if you don't, because you could be in a cycle if you keep him. You could be in a cycle if you get rid of him. I mean, same way Texas was. I mean, that's when they got rid of Mac Brown, that's exactly what happened to them. They were in a bad cycle there at the end, but they had to get rid of him, and they didn't score on any coaches after that until Sark come around. And
what was it? Was it Strong and then Herman?
It was Herman and then Strong, wasn't it? Yeah, because everybody loved Strong the second year, and they almost hung on to him for another year, and everybody was like, no, but it's kind of like the BV thing. Everybody loved him. Staff loved him. Coaches loved him. Fans loved him.
Players loved him.
And so they all loved him, and they were going to keep him a fourth year, and then it kind of got, you know how it, one of them things that they were just like, nah. I guess if you would have been in a different school, you know, it would have been like an OU or a Texas or Alabama. They'd have probably held on to him for another year. But from what I heard, that the donors were not having it.
Yeah, probably not.
That's who makes the big time decisions there.
Yeah, that's what it boiled down to. So.
Yep.
Hey, thanks, KB.
Y'all have a good night.
Hey, you too, man.
Hey,
I hope all's well.
Get to this because,
thank you.
Hey, I got to get to this because I'm going to give an update on Dad too. Because Chuck, this is truth. You can only control the things you can't control. That's truth. In fact, I used that quote on my dad 2 nights ago when honestly, I didn't know he was going to make it through the night. Like I was up there with him. He was, I mean, just miserable, and not a good place. And I said, Dad, I'm going to use something that you used to tell me all the time. Don't worry about things you can't control. Basically, I said that to him. But update today, he ate his chili tonight, and we watched a little bit of God's Not Dead 2. And he was actually pretty engaged and liking it, more cognitively there tonight. But so, yeah, appreciate the prayers, guys. I want to get to that question there about Jim Nagy. Jay, do you think they will look for GMs of the same caliber for hoops? Now, I'm not going to say same caliber, but I think, Jay, you've mentioned it, and I'm going to say it right now. Eduardo Nájera.
Yep.
Eduardo Nájera would be a great GM for the basketball team. He's been in scouts in the NBA. That's what he's been doing. He knows OU. He loves the university. I mean, you don't have to go get someone who's been in the killing it in the NBA. I think for OU basketball, and a guy like Nájera, who's been around NBA scouting, would be an absolute home run hire. People love the guy. He's probably Ryan Miner. You can name 5 guys. He's in that top list of 5. Wayman Tisdale, guys who OU basketball fans, true OU basketball fans, Eduardo Nájera is going to be on their list.
Well, right now, if I'm OU basketball, I'm going after 2 guys probably that I think I could get. One of them, and that's I would do the same thing. Nájera as GM. Chris Crutchfield just won their conference. Okay, he's tearing it up at Omaha.
He's tearing it up. That would be a great hire.
He's tearing it up. He's recruited great players at Oklahoma. Buddy Hield, Trey Young. He's recruited all of them. Okay, he's a great recruiter. Now he's proven that he can coach. You could get him, I think, without a doubt. And you know what? Maybe you have some guys that would pay up and start to pony up NIL if you had Nájera and you had a guy like Crutchfield who can bring in recruits. I don't know. I'm just thinking. I think the question that Oki's asking is a great question because Jim Nagy is going to. I think he's a great hire for Oklahoma football. But if you're wanting to if you're wanting to win in basketball, if you're wanting to win in other sports, you got to have somebody running that.
And Jay,
it would be absolute silliness to think a head coach can run all that stuff with NIL, with transfer portal, it's a lot, and coach basketball. I think you got to have some help there.
I get goosebumps even thinking about Eduardo Nájera playing for OU. He was I absolutely loved him. Hey, but Jay, the more I look at Chris Crutchfield, I think it's a great and Greg God says no to mid-major coaches, but look at a guy at Texas Tech that's absolutely killing it right now.
Okay, but to be fair, Greg God, I I said the same thing about 3 weeks ago, but I'm basing this on who could OU get. Okay, go for an assistant coach. I'd be fine with that. But Kellen Sampson, other than that, who are you going to go get? Who are you going to go get?
Yeah. Hey, Kim says, so to be fair, if BV has a winning season, okay, stop right there. Winning season? No. If he goes 7-6, that's a winning season. What's everyone going to be all googly-eyed? No. But let's just say if BV has a playoff winning season, and is everyone going to am I going to apologize? Wait, time out. Am I going to apologize? I'm not going to apologize to BV. Am I going to give them praise? Absolutely, if they turn it around. Like, why would I not give OU praise if they're in the playoff? Look, read the top here, guys. Sooner Surge, a podcast that tells it like it is. I mean, when it's not good, I'm going to say it's not good. When it's great, I'll say it's great. I'm not going to say, well, and by the way, I've got signs. Here's one. Jay was wrong. I've got signs where I've said I'm wrong. Like, I'll gladly say it.
So wait, you kept the J was wrong and you threw your I was wrong away?
I cleaned up in the pod room and I found that one.
You cleaned up and you left the one that said J was wrong.
I'll put two lines above it and make it I, okay? We got Okie Lawn Guy here.
What's up?
Hey, guys.
What's going on?
I guess my thought, did a little bit of grilling tonight for dinner. I think it kind of helped me get my mind off OU basketball for a little bit. But nonetheless, I just think the hiring of Jim Nagy if it's making the light bulb go off for like us as just general fans, you would think that it would make a domino effect of saying, okay, if we're getting this awesome GM, like I said, it doesn't have to be some guy like I said, Narha would be an awesome one, but it would make Joe C think, okay, well let's do this for hoops next, and then I don't know if you need one. I mean, I would say baseball and maybe softball, but I don't really know if you. I think Skip and all, and obviously Patty. She doesn't really need anybody to tell her what to recruit because she's her success. She speaks for herself, and you could probably say the same for Skip Johnson too. I mean, the guy has major league pitchers coming back to train with him in the offseason, so. He hasn't won his national championship. Came real close to, obviously, in 2022 season.
Yeah,
but I was just, was it 22? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so
year before last, wherever that be.
Okay, so I would just think, hey, let's hire a GM for the basketball program and see where it takes us from there.
Yeah, and how about be on the front lines? If nobody else has done it, be the first one to go do it. Because, hey, what makes you money? Basketball and football.
Mm-hmm.
You got to win at those sports. You got to win.
Yeah, I mean, and who knows? That's what I'm saying. I would think I would want this Jim Nagy hire to springboard OU to say, okay, let's do this for hoops, and let's be that first program that's been, because everybody's probably like, oh my, OU just hired Jim Nagy. Are you kidding? The guy who's over the senior Reese's Bowl and with all that kind of stuff and has tons of connections. Same thing for Nahara is he played in the NBA. He was a scout for the NBA. Can you think about all the different connections that guy must have? Or if he knows somebody that knows somebody. You know what I'm saying? So from coast to coast, he basically knows where to go, and hey, and even internationally too. So.
Yeah,
it'd be a home run hire for basketball to get Eduardo Naha.
Hey, whoever you bring in as coach, assistant coaches, GM, whatever you do for basketball, you have to have the donor buy-in because you're not winning in basketball without money. You got to get some NIL plugged into basketball. You're not going to win. You can't compete in the SEC. You got to get more money in basketball. You want a center, you need to go pay up to get a center. It's just like football. You want a D lineman, you got to pay up to get those guys.
Yeah.
Well, how much do you think a center, elite center?
A good one?
Yeah.
I'd say probably $7 or $50K.
Oh, I was gonna say closer to $2 million, but
at least $750K maybe. I think it's good money. You got to pay up.
yeah.
You're thinking $2 million for a
I
basketball
don't know
center?
because I don't follow
Oh,
college
okay.
basketball. I don't know like guys like Cooper Flag. I don't know what all they're getting. So
Well, Cooper Flag's a different animal.
I know. I'm just saying.
Do you think Duke had to shell out some serious cash to get him to come to Duke?
Do you think what? What was that?
Do you think? Oh, I said, do you think Duke had to shell out serious cash for him for
I
them
mean,
to
they
get
are
Cooper
Duke. They
Flag?
are Duke. I'm sure they
I
didn't
are
have a
Duke.
problem. I'm sure they didn't have a problem giving him money, but they're also Duke.
Yeah. Hey, thanks,
Wow.
Okie, man.
All right. Well, you guys have a great night, and pray for the best for your dad too. So.
Hey,
Appreciate that.
appreciate it, man. Thanks so much. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate it.
Hey,
How long?
Chris
He's been
Crutchfield,
Omaha 2 years now, I think.
2 years, and Chris Crutchfield has been around. Like Chris Crutchfield, and then you got the Trey Young love, like,
And Chris Crutchfield's top 2 players are Oklahoma City products at Omaha right now.
that
They're
is
Oklahoma
true.
City guys.
Maybe they would have had Padula and
Probably
still
would
not
have
getting
Crutchfield. Yeah. Maybe so.
Yeah.
How bad is it, Padula and a guy that, by the way, Padula and Godwin are like really good friends. You know,
And
he had
Forsythe.
when he saw Godwin up there on him, he was like, "This is like pickup ball. I'm just gonna torch it."
It's embarrassing, dude. It's embarrassing. How much will Oklahoma City profit? I'm not even sure. How am I don't foresee the future. Not sure on that lane.
Yeah. Not sure either.
Flag
Sooner
NIL
WX went
projection
to my
is
first
$4 million.
Sooner at WX went to his first OU baseball game. Had a good time. There was a good crowd. That's right. And by the way, kudos to Sooner WX, keeping updated in the Discord, dropping the score in there for us. I appreciate that, Sooner WX. I couldn't keep up, but I can keep up with your post in the Discord. So,
guys, hey, Jedi, look, hey, Porter, have you watched the games? Porter Moser can't sit down. His seat's too hot.
Yeah, but hey,
No, he can't sit down anyway. He doesn't need a hot seat. He needs something hot, a hot pad up against his rump because he doesn't sit down.
Yeah, but let me say this about Porter Moser.
He wouldn't feel the hot seat. I
watched the post game today. Gosh, I feel for that guy.
Oh, he's frustrated, Jay.
Like it sounded like he was about in tears. Like he's just hurting for these guys.
Is he not translating? Is it not translating what he's saying? Because he said we wanted to get Padula downhill. Then why aren't they doing what he's saying?
I mean, it could be that. I mean, Godwin was a walk-on, Germ.
Then stop playing the man.
What? They don't have much, Germ. Big guys.
You go small, Jason. You go small. I've said this before.
Again. I don't.
Ole Miss wasn't big. Ole Miss wasn't big, Jay.
Well, if you look at their roster, they're going to finish about where they were picked to finish.
They're not big, Jay.
But they're going to finish about where they were picked to finish.
Who?
OU.
Okay, good job, Porter.
Well, no, I'm not saying good job, Germ. I'm not saying that. Okay, I'm not saying.
Where we picked you.
I'm not defending Porter Moser. I'm not defending Porter Moser.
We could talk all night long on this, but we're not going to. Spring practice is upon us, and I know people have asked, hey, and I know we missed a couple lives, and someone said, and a lot of people said, family first. 100% agree with you, family first. But I just want to say this because I think sometimes there's a misconception. Listen, this is a time each night that I honestly treasure. And people say, how? You just sit there and scream at the TV, at the camera the whole time. Yeah, I do. It's called venting. Okay. This is a time for me where I can, I guess, let loose a little, talk about sports that are on my mind, because honestly, I don't get to do it a lot during the day with everything that's going on. It's kind of an outlet for me. So, hey, I'm going to keep being on here every night. And when I'm not, we're going to send a message saying why we're not going to be on here. And not because we feel like we need to apologize, just because we like full transparency here at the Sooner Surge. That's what we're about. And we know that you appreciate it as well. And we appreciate you. Dave, thanks to the super. Chester, thanks to the supers. I hope someone who got the Sooner Surge Unlimited membership from Chester. Emails us at soonersurgepod@gmail.com.
Yeah, and I got to say one thing, too. For the ones asking about the college football 25 tournament.
Yeah.
Brackets, I'm waiting on 3 people to give me their gaming code or whatever. What do you call that? Gaming
handle.
There you go. By the way, because I don't know what I'm doing here, I got somebody setting up the tournament for us. So it's going to be done. They're ready to go. We're just waiting on 3 people to give us their gaming handle. And then they'll be ready to go, and then we'll roll with it. So if you haven't signed up and you still want a chance, this is the last chance, last call right here, because Greg God's about to cook. He said,
Hey,
yeah.
I got to say one thing to end it, because I think this is great. What would be typical OU is everyone shows up at the stadium and the players aren't out there, and there's been no communication from anyone, and that would kind of be typical. But anyway, appreciate it all. Join us tomorrow night. We hope you guys have a great Sunday. Softball team in action against Kansas City. We will see everyone tomorrow. Have a super Sunday.